even at this age, my friends who fathers was genuinely just not in their life because they knew they picked the wrong woman and didn't want to deal with the woman. Even when they reach out to their fathers at this age, those fathers have no genuine interest in being in their life.
Yeah, sounds like another benefit of being married. So I agree with this statement. Women should refuse to have kids with until marriage. But people who call themselves the men partners, they okay with that shit. Because guess what? These goddamn bulldaggers can have babies too.
Hank, that's what I was
This
gonna
is some
say.
nasty work.
This lady I'm working with, she's married and she's going through a divorce. It just was a domestic violence situation, real bad. And ever since he's divorced her, he don't want to be with the kids no more. He stopped picking them up every weekend. He's literally detached himself from the kids because they're detaching from each other.
Go ahead.
Yeah, situations like that, he was probably whooping on her ass before he even got with her married, as far as married her. But so happened she decided to say I do to this fool. She made a bad decision.
No, I was just talking about how he said that women just be having babies as accessories. And I say guys kind of do that too. And if it doesn't come with a woman, sometimes they're just willing, or if the woman or if the accessory is hard to deal with, then they just choose not to deal with it at all.
You call a baby an accessory?
No, I didn't. I'm saying you missed the point, Hank.
No, Hank, what I said was a lot of women treat their kids like their accessories. Like the same way niggas get pit bulls.
Okay, god damn.
Women treat babies like that.
Yes, and I was saying,
That's some
I
nasty
would
work.
say I feel like men do that a lot. Like, and it's an accessory that some of them not even willing to go to court for. Get
Hold on, time out.
Like they'll get it for their car.
You think men treat the babies like an accessory?
Because the situation I described, like how my friend even.
So I wasn't off when I sit there and say you sitting there thinking a baby's an accessory because you think men treat a lot of kids like an accessory.
Not men in general, the fathers who choose not to be in their child's life. Like that creates the single moms, like the moms that don't have no help. Like for instance, I don't know a man, and when I say a man, just by my definition of a man, I don't know any man that would let a woman will be okay with knowing that his seed that's actually on this earth is in the hands of a woman that he knows will make his son a statistic. I just don't know any father, any real man, any real father that is okay with that. And that's just my opinion. Especially with the statistics of how kids are turning out by single mothers.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get a whole avenue. What you about to ready to say?
I was just gonna say, yeah, I agree. I think that women should refuse to have children until they get married. It's really difficult to raise children alone, and then on top of that, if you're still like trying to search for a man, you're gonna wind up neglecting your kids. So I think it's really important to make a real good decision about whether or not you're gonna have children. Don't just like make that loose. Don't take that loosely or lightly.
Is anybody that disagree with this? No, everybody agree. Yeah. Bo, you want to say something?
I feel like your chances are higher. Your chances of success will be higher.
Okay.
Especially knowing, like, I know I was arguing devil's advocate, but overall, I feel like your chances will be higher with the father being in the child's life. Although there are some situations where, fathers, like I just named with my co-worker, but I do feel like if y'all married, the man has a better chance of, creating that bond with the kids, getting attached to the kids, coming up in the house with the kids. It's just a different dynamic. I can't say that.
Gotcha. Go ahead, Bo.
I don't disagree with the kids being raised in the house with two parents. I was raised in a house with two parents, but I think we need to be careful with that because we are not specifying what type of household this should be. We're just throwing two people in the household and saying kids are better off with two parents. I would have been better off with one. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, we have to be careful when we are just haphazardly encouraging parents or husband and wives to have children, and we're not checking that both of them are healthy, both of them have a good dynamic between each other, because I went through literal years of therapy in order to work through a lot of traumas because I had a two-parent household. And so that's a long story. I do not want to get into that, but it just goes to show you that we have to be careful with just encouraging two people to be in a household together who have children, because that's not always a good thing.
All right.
I think objectively, I do think that if women, absolutely, but I think if women just waited to have sex, it would have almost the same effect or a very similar effect, of kind of weeding out the ones who just not really on nothing. You know, you wait to have sex, you can talk more. You actually really get to know a person. So yeah, I think objectively, waiting to get married is to have a kid. Yeah. Wait, are we saying wait to have sex also, or like they can be having sex and just not have and just as long as they getting abortions and using condoms and stuff?
I think I think that we should be encouraging people to be extremely careful, because you don't like having a baby with just random people is not healthy, because it creates very complicated situations. Um, a lot of us got out there really young and we made mistakes. And so, one mistake, cool, cool, cool. I'm not the type that's like, you can't do this over and over and over again, because sometimes it takes people over and over and over again to learn a lesson, unfortunately. But I think that we need to preach being careful, because just because you want to have sex does not mean that you consent to having a child. But also, you need to take responsibility and you need to take precautions and be very adamant about those precautions. Just because it feels good without the protection does not mean that you don't need to use protection. So we have to teach people, especially our young people, how to abstain if they can't control themselves, or how to control themselves, be it a man or a woman.
All right. I got a question for the panel. Um, does sleeping with a man on the first night hurt a woman's chances for marriage?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's the question. Hold that.
Oh, yeah, I think so. But I think I want to hear from men though.
I think
Okay, I
so.
know. I know. Repo said yes. Hink.
Well, if she gonna act like a hoe, you treat a hoe like a hoe. So hell no, you don't marry a hoe. You let a hoe leave the hoe to the streets.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Look here, lady, I don't think y'all understand. We categorize y'all, whether y'all want to believe that shit or not. So if we getting y'all ass on the first night, now we ain't gonna respect you. You know what we're gonna respect? Every time we come over and give you that goddamn 20 minutes, and then the disrespect starts as soon as we walk up that sill of that goddamn door. You get categorized. So accept your whole title. That's what we're gonna look at you as we're gonna call you. If we describe you through our boys. Nah, I mean, I knocked that hoe down. That hoe wasn't shit. I wouldn't have nothing to do with her. But if that's what you want, go and get her. You better not marry her, though, because I ain't the only one to hit on the first goddamn night. I think there's a line of dudes over right now. Take a number, take a goddamn seat. So hell no, fellas. Do not marry that heifer if she threw it back on the first goddamn night. You know what the outcome's gonna be.
I think that I think somebody said something earlier about men and women sexually. It's like the same. I don't think it's the same reasonably, men and women, because the stakes aren't the same for men and women. You can die having a baby. I can sit on a couch and watch football while you have a baby. You know, like the stakes aren't the same for you. So when it comes to like you being selective about who you sleep with, and I do think men should be selective. But in reality, you know, it's not the same when we're weighing these things. So I think when men and women are dating, neither one of us want every neither one of us want everything that we ultimately want from this person on the first date. You know, and the big things that a man want from you, one of them is sex, and you know, one of them is sex. One of the big things that a woman wants from you is money. At some point, she gonna want your money. Now, she going like listen, you gonna want a man money at some point. You gonna want it, and if I'm giving it all to you on the first date, you gonna be like, all right, I'll take it, but you a sucker. I ain't, you know, if I'm picking you up on the first date, I don't even. I heard of some men giving women flowers on the first date, like a big bouquet of flowers, and it's just like that's going to turn most women off, even though they want flowers. Don't give me a big bouquet of flowers on the first date. Like, don't most women listen, guys, do not do that. I don't care what they saying on the panel. Don't give these women flowers on the first date. They're gonna look at you like a sucker because you're
You
not
better
supposed
give
to be
me
doing
some flowers.
like
Yeah, I'm gonna need some flowers. I mean, it don't have to be all over the floor, but you know, I just need a little
listen,
something. You know,
I love flowers.
don't do it, fellas. They
daisies,
gonna want it.